Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, parts of New England are under a flash flood emergency warning after storms move through the region Monday. We have the latest. And after days trapped underground, an American caver has emerged in what experts are calling one of the largest cave rescues in the world. More on what prompted the historic rescue is straight ahead. Plus, 4 former Industrial ISD baseball players indicted for assaulting a teammate in April will go before a court tomorrow for a hearing on the case. This story and more is just minutes away.
Take a look on the outside. It's a live view from Cuero ISD Woodsboro camera. A few clouds in distance there. You kind of see a little bit of that. Rain chances are on the way. Yes, they are. We'll give you the details coming up in the forecast.
We check out the state rankings for the Texas high school football teams in the area. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
I'm Trey Mining.
And today it's the 12th day of September 2023. The time is now 6:32, Trey.
Already.
On our Tuesday morning, and on this day in 1958, the U.S. Supreme Court orders the all-white Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas to integrate.
Oh yes, a very important day in history.
Definitely, integration, a very big part of our public school history, and it's important to remember that a lot of progress has been made.
A lot has been made, exactly. And the heat, we're making a little progress here in our heat situation here. It's a little bit more tolerable. It's just beginning of a high with things kind of going the next few days down the road. Looking like the, well, let's take a look at where ISD with the camera one more time. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see. We're looking at the temperatures. They're starting off in the 70s this morning, and then we'll continue to. Okay, let's see. We'll take a look at the temperatures currently in the 70s, 80s along the immediate coast. Like typically we would see this during the morning time where it's warmer along the coastal zones. That's the case this morning. And we're looking at temperatures, of course, will be the main temperatures, will be the main issue throughout the day today. Looking at the day planner for Cuero area, 75 degrees currently, pretty much area wide. 90 by noontime and lunchtime, 98, 96 or 7 degrees by the time we get to the afternoon. Here. So we'll have more weather a little bit later on. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Now to a flash flood emergency. All morning we've been seeing new images of severe flooding in parts of New England.
Overnight, officials warning the flood emergency in Massachusetts could get even worse as rivers north of Boston begin to crest.
Find a high spot somewhere. Find a high spot and stay there until this is over.
6 to 9 inches of rain fell in a matter of hours, submerging cars in Leominster, forcing drivers to abandon their vehicles on the highway.
People were sitting on top of their cars just waiting for someone to come and rescue them.
First responders rescued multiple people out of flooded mobile home community as the mayor went on social media to plead with people to stay off the roads. Torrents of water washing away asphalt, opening up large sinkholes across the city.
These catch basins are coming right out of the ground. You're going to drive over one of them. All the streets are flooded.
To the south in Rhode Island, powerful floodwaters poured into homes and businesses, submerging the state's capital. Days of storms in the Northeast already caused at least 1 death in Northeast Pennsylvania. Thousands of flights have been canceled, causing a ripple effect at airports across the country. All this ahead of Hurricane Lee, barreling north in the Atlantic, packing 115-mile-per-hour winds overnight. It's expected to bring heavy surf along the East Coast and move past New England this weekend. Cape Cod and Maine are now on alert for heavy winds.
It's Saturday and Sunday that we watch for what could be a landfall of a much weaker storm by the time it gets up to the Canadian border right around Maine. But the impacts along the coast are going to be huge waves and rip currents.
Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
In the meantime, the Red Cross says extreme weather is one factor behind a nationwide blood shortage, with supplies down nearly 25% in the last month. Monday marked 22 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks on the U.S. The anniversary commemorations of the terror attacks that killed nearly 3,000 Americans will take place in New York City, Virginia, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The National September 11th Memorial and Museum led the nation and the world in marking the anniversary. The ceremony took place on the Memorial Plaza and focused on an in-person reading of the names by family members. 6 moments of silence were observed throughout the ceremony to acknowledge when each of the World Trade Center towers were struck and fell, and the times of the attack on the Pentagon and the crash of Flight 93. American cave explorer Mark Dickey emerged from a Turkish cave on a stretcher yesterday after getting sick on an expedition more than 9 days ago. 40-year-old Dickey, who is from New Jersey, reportedly suffered from gastrointestinal bleeding some 3,400 feet underground while mapping a cave in the Taurus Mountains. Rescuers say Dickey appeared to be in a serious, life-threatening condition when they first reached him. More than 150 rescuers from Turkey and other countries worked for days to get him out, prompting the Turkish Caving Federation to describe the effort as one of the largest cave rescues in the world. 4 former Industrial ISD baseball players will go before a judge Wednesday for a hearing regarding an attack against another teammate. The 4 players were indicted this summer on charges of organized criminal assault. Braxton Warren, Zachary Coulter, Christopher McQuarrie, and Cullen Stumful are accused of assaulting a younger player following a baseball game on April 27th. An El Campo man facing charges in the theft of a tabernacle stolen from St. Robert's Catholic Church last week. A report from the El Campo Leader News says the 29-year-old suspect, Jose Jaramillo, is in the Wharton County Jail facing theft of property, criminal mischief, and damage to a place of worship charges. El Campo police say the search is on for 1 or 2 others who may be involved in the theft. Part of the tabernacle that was stolen last week has since been returned. Continuing coverage on the vandalism of Yorktown High School's football field. Police say they've made an arrest in the case. 23-year-old Trace Alvarez of Yorktown was arrested Saturday afternoon. Alvarez has since bonded out of the DeWitt County Jail. Authorities accuse him of vandalizing the field by using an ATV to do donuts. Witnesses reported the incident late Friday night. That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, has your property ever been vandalized? Okay, let's take a look. 60% of you say yes, that has been climbing all morning. And 40% of you say no. We love hearing from you. Thank you for coming to crosswordstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And you may have experienced slowdowns if you were traveling southbound on Navarro yesterday around 5 p.m. The delay was due to a crash at Navarro and Airline. 1 person appeared trapped, but no injuries were reported. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crosswords Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on your Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. A Missouri University's Transgender Center has stopped providing hormones or puberty blockers to minors for gender transitioning.
I'm ABC's Em Nguyen in Washington. The manhunt for the escaped murderer out of Pennsylvania continues. How police say he slipped through police lines more than once. Coming up.
Looking at precipitation in the state of Texas, yes, and cloud cover to the west of our region here. Some of this will begin to move toward our region here, giving us better rain chance in time, something we certainly do need. We'll give you the details on that coming up in the forecast. Good morning, good morning. Let's take a look at the radar. Well, not seeing anything on it so far, except if you look right here, way up here in the corner, there's Stonewall Kerrville right there. That is the beginning of some precipitation that's trying to hit our way. Take a little while to get here, but it's gradually going to improve our rain chances here over the time. With more moisture in place, already have that. A weak front coming on down, and also an upper level disturbance along with that mix to help get some rain chances going for us. And it looks like it'll be pretty decent chances overall. Take another look at the tropics. We still have a lot of activity there. Nothing threatening us, thankfully. We have Margot, that is a Category 1 hurricane, way out here. And to give you a frame of reference, here is the coast of Africa right there on the far edge of your screen there. This storm here, Margot, continue to work to the north, Category 1 hurricane, maybe getting up to Category 2, where it moves into much cooler waters to the north. Still have Lee here in the areas near the Bahamas, moving to the north, maybe a threat to Nova Scotia, Canada. The Canadian Maritimes coming up by the weekend, so they have that to deal with. We just have heat and humidity and some better rain chances for us. Full forecast a little bit later on. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Heading into week 4, we check out the state ranking for the Texas high school football teams in the area. Sports director Gino Perez has the details in sports.
At a Crossroads, let's check out the top football teams in the Crossroads area. If they moved up or down, the Refugio Bobcats are still ranked number 2 in the state behind the Timpson Bears. Refugio will take on Bishop Friday for its first ever away game of the year. The Mean Green Cuero Gobblers improved to 3-0 on the season and stand pat at number 4 in Class 4A Division II. Cuero is behind Carthage at 1, Sealsby at 2, and Texarkana Pleasant Grove at 3. The Edna Cowboys are now number 9 in the state. Edna will take on Sinton Friday night, hoping to bounce back and move its way back up into the rankings. The Yoakum Bulldogs made it to the top 10 last week, and they stay in the same location even after a loss. Yoakum is going to host the Calhoun Sand Crabs this Friday, and it will be our game of the week in Yoakum. The Tidehaven Tigers are 3-0 on the season and sit at number 3. They have not allowed a single point this season. Tidehaven is going to take on another area team in the Industrial Cobras in the Snake Pit Friday night. That's your 25 Sports Now.
Thank you, Gino. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service on your connected TV. If you have an Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, or Android TV, all you have to do is search Crossroads Today Plus. This morning, police in Pennsylvania are on the ground in Chester County, where they've confirmed a new sighting of escaped killer Danilo Calvacante. Sources say he may now be armed with a rifle. This is the first report of a sighting since this weekend after Calvacante changed his appearance.
Overnight, authorities swarming an area in Chester County, Pennsylvania, investigating a new confirmed sighting from a chopper of escaped murderer Danilo Cavalcante. Pennsylvania State Police say they are pursuing Cavalcante and that he is armed. Sources telling our station WPVI that a local homeowner had shot at someone matching Cavalcante's description. It's unclear if that individual was hit.
We have always treated him as potentially being armed. He's been carrying a pack. There's no way to know exactly what's in that pack.
Sources say law enforcement also found shoes in the search. Residents in the area were told to lock all doors and windows and remain indoors. The latest images captured on doorbell video shows Cavalcante now clean-shaven, wearing different clothes.
No perimeter is 100% secure. It's not a wall. It doesn't have a ceiling. We will ultimately capture him. He doesn't have what he needs to last long term.
The 34-year-old convicted of killing his ex-girlfriend first broke out of prison 12 days ago, crab walking up these narrow walls to the roof to escape. And despite their initial perimeter, investigators say he slipped past them and stole this unlocked van. Cavalcante then went to the Phoenixville area where he tried to contact a former co-worker who called local police. By the time officers showed up, he was gone. Local, state, and federal law enforcement still searching.
We're going to prepare for the long game, and the long game is what we do best.
When asked if preparing for the long game means they won't catch Cavalcante soon, authorities said no, that they still try to get him as soon as possible, but that they won't promise his capture by a certain date. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Last Thursday, the Victoria Fire Department responded to 3301 East Mockingbird Lane at the Twin Pines Nursery and Rehab for a transformer fire. It was a ground fire on the Twin Pines property, but it was not on or in the building. Residents were not threatened by the fire, and no injuries were reported. The Victoria Fire Department extinguished the fire. However, electricity was impacted by the fire. Twin Pines staff relocated residents to other parts of the building with functioning electricity. The time is now 6:46 on your Tuesday morning. Still to come, a teenage girl was shot and killed near her high school in Maryland. Okay, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Alea. Happy birthday to our beautiful princess. We love you and we're super proud of you. Love Mom, Dad, and Brother Carter.
And happy birthday to Sebastian, my son. I wish you a very happy 17th birthday. Love from Mom.
And Grammy-winning singer, Oscar-winning actress, and Emmy-nominated talk show host Jennifer Hudson is 42 today. Happy birthday.
And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now at Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click on More Learner Home. You'll see there the KVU Submit Your Birthday.
All right, Trey, the time is now 6:47 on our Tuesday morning.
Oh yeah, we're moving along.
We're moving along. Happy birthday. If you're celebrating one today, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good morning and happy Tuesday, and let's take a look at the temperatures. Main story is going to be the heat again today. Not anything too really super oppressive like we have had in past weeks, but it's still hot enough where you need to take precautions if you're out in the heat during the day. And current feel-like temperatures, 80s along the coast, 70s pretty much mirroring the air temperature from Victoria northward toward Gonzales area. And let's work this model throughout the rest of the daytime hours. And then by the afternoon, starting about 1 or 2 o'clock, we're getting near the 100-degree mark, or surpassing that by the time we get 4 o'clock to about the 5 o'clock hour. 101 or 102 heat index value very likely by the afternoon time. Of course, cooling off as we begin to sunset around the 7 p.m. hour and a little bit after that. A few high clouds throughout the day today, otherwise keeping it mostly dry. Better rain chances tomorrow as instability increases along a frontal zone getting closer to us and an upper level disturbance along that line as well coming in our direction. 96 degrees today, mostly sunny skies and hot. Triple-digit heat index value, as you know, by the afternoon. Overnight lows in the 70s, highs tomorrow again in the 90s. Once again, with a little bit better rain chance going up for your day tomorrow, and that'll take us through the rest of the weekend. Low 90s with better rain chances yet coming in by Saturday and Sunday.
Washington University's Transgender Center has stopped providing hormones or puberty blockers to minors for gender transitioning. The move comes after a Missouri state law banning healthcare providers from offering such care to minors went into effect. The law has an exemption for minors who are already getting gender-affirming hormone treatments before August 28th. But the university says it decided to end all treatments to avoid potential legal issues. The university said Monday it's disheartened to have to take these steps. Instacart's latest valuation is tens of billions of dollars below what the company was worth just a year ago. The grocery delivery company revealed in an updated initial public offering filing that it's aiming to price its stock between $26 and $28 per share. That would put the company's value at around $7.4 billion at the midpoint. Taking into account restricted stock, options, and warrants, Instacart would be valued as high as $9.3 billion. On the bright side, it generated $242 million in profit for the first half of 2023. That's compared with a $74 million loss for the same time period a year ago. Still to come on Sunrise News to know before you go. President Biden back at the White House after spending some time in Vietnam. A teenage girl was shot and killed near her high school in Lanham, Maryland yesterday afternoon. Police say the shooting happened when she was walking on a street near Duval High School in the D.C. metro area just after school let out. There was a dispute between two groups and the girl was shot. She was rushed to a hospital in a critical condition where she died. Duval High School and another school were placed on lockdown for nearly 2 hours as police search for suspects. There are no arrests. President Biden back at the White House today after spending time in Vietnam. On Monday, he met with leaders in an effort to elevate relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership. They spoke about deepening cooperation in cloud computing, semiconductors, and artificial intelligence. The White House unveiled a Vietnam Airlines purchase of 50 Boeing 737 MAX jets worth $7.8 billion. And then back at the White House, the president did not speak as he waved to reporters on the South Lawn. About 30 members of the Port Lavaca Fire Department took part in the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. They walked the equivalent of 110 stories of the World Trade Center by walking the bleachers at Sand Crab Stadium. They were joined by members of the volunteer fire departments of Seadrift, Point Comfort, Port Alto Olivia, Magnolia, and 6 Mile, along with the fire brigades from Formosa Plastics and Dow Chemical. 2 Port Lavaca and 5 Victoria firefighters walked the steps of the Tower of the Americas in San Antonio yesterday to commemorate 9/11. Law enforcement officers, veterans, and community leaders gathered to remember the events of 9/11. They met at Victoria's Field of Honor yesterday to honor the lives lost 22 years ago. Those who attended say we should never forget 9/11.
You know, we can never forget what happened to us many years ago, and honor the men and women that never returned and made it home. So I'm glad to see we're continuing and putting forth this effort.
The 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony is now an annual event here in Victoria. And as the nation observed the 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, McAdams Flora placed this wreath at Fire Station number 1 on Goodwin as tribute to 9/11. Ken Paxton's extramarital affair impacted staff morale. The former chief of staff in the AG's office testified, with Angela Paxton calling the office trying to track down her husband, and staffers feeling uncomfortable answering those questions. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Trey. Trey, those rain chances getting closer and closer to us.
Exactly. Day by day, we get closer to better rain chances, so we're hanging on to that. We do need the rainfall, and the chances are pretty good, not today, but down the road. And heat index values throughout the day, starting off in the 70s and 80s, well above 100 degrees, well 101 and 102 by the time we get to noontime, to about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. So be careful out there if you have anything you're doing, and you want to remain safe, of course. And a few clouds in the overnight tonight and into your day today as well. We'll keep that in place. No rain clouds as of yet. Maybe a passing rain shower somewhere around the region today. Better rain chances tomorrow. And then after that, it looks pretty good coming up. 96 degrees today, mostly sunny skies and hot. Lows the overnight will be in the 70s again. Highs tomorrow in the 90s again, of course. A little bit better rain chances. And look at the temperatures and rain chances coming up by the weekend. Good rain chances by the weekend with highs only in the low 90s. Be careful today and stay cool. Carolina?
All right, thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join James, Don, Matt, Karina, and Gina today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.